everybody. Welcome to GB Talks. Today we are with Gregg Ostrowski. Hello, Greg. How are you today?
Hello, Divshad. Nice to meet you today.
Great. So, Greg, to begin with, what do you think, in your opinion, are the challenges faced by the IT departments?
Yeah, from a technology perspective, the biggest challenges that we've seen over the last year has been a rapid adoption of cloud strategies and initiatives. So during the pandemic, I mean, what really happened is a lot of folks were in a position where they were forced to move quickly to adopt cloud strategies. And they've really proven that it worked. And what happens is that, moving to the cloud is really about speed, agility, scale, resilience of your applications. But the challenge is that with the rapid acceleration of cloud services, is what happened is it had an effect on the IT departments, driving up the levels of complexity and creating a bigger pressure on technologists. Because as you see that, during the last couple of years, technology's really been driving a lot of business direct initiatives and outcomes. So interesting enough, we have a report that comes out called the Agents Transformation that came out last year, 2021, the rise of full stack observability. What we found in that report was that 77% of global technologists, and even more so in the UAE, which was 86%, are experiencing greater levels of complexity as a result of cloud adoption. And out of that, from the UAE, 84% cited that they see this technology sprawl happening, that they need to be able to manage the patchwork of legacy applications as well as some of the new cloud adoption and cloud technologies that they brought in. So when you kind of look at this on the back of the overarching transformation period, technologies have even more importance to be able to monitor the cloud native applications, focusing on that full stack observability. And when you kind of look at the reason why the change of the challenge is happening, moving from the traditional on-premise where you have a fixed set of servers, fixed set of networking that you connect through, infrastructure. When you move to the cloud, everything is software defined. So what happens is that you have a very elastic environment. You have an environment that opens up and scales, grows additional complexity, closes down. So things are only running it for a period of time. And that really what makes monitoring cloud native solutions a bit more challenging.
So, what makes monitoring cloud environments so specific?
So, I'm going to start off with first that when you look at the way that the application landscape has changed, if I always refer back when you look at applications from the last decade, they're built with running in an app tier node model, a single entity, an application that runs on premise. Now, as you start to change those processes, what's happening within our organizations, they're starting to bring on new roles that focus on cloud operations or infrastructure operations within the cloud, new DevOps strategies that focus on building microservice driven applications, or the cloud native applications. So what happens there is if you take a single application and migrate that to the cloud, what you're effectively doing is you're starting to break that up into a series of microservices. So you may have a single app that once ran on-prem that's now broken up to somewhere between 15, 20, or 25 different microservices. So when you kind of look at that, the monitoring is changing or is needed to change along with those different practices. You have to be able to focus on different personas, ones who are looking at the cloud native components of it. But you also have to look at the way that it's being monitored from that perspective of, a lot of new dynamic solutions being plugged in place that are only running for a period of time. Now, if you kind of look at it from the traditional aspect, many customers have a myriad of tools that they already use for traditional monitoring. That's going to be, very relevant and still provide a vital role within the overall application space. But to that extent, what's happening is you're starting to see the demand and the need for a cloud native type monitoring solution that's going to be very, very complete with the overarching view, being able to see everything from the business transactions through the services, through the infrastructures that's supporting it, and then being able to see all the corresponding data elements to it so that we can drive speed, ease of use, and help our customers start to quickly resolve these issues that come through. So when we kind of phrase it as, we ingest what we call MELT data, metrics, events, logs, and traces. And you kind of look at the overarching, the way that I started to explain the transition as you're now going from a single entity to many different microservices. The volume of data that comes in from that MELT concept, the metrics, events, logs, and traces, goes up dramatically. So being able to have a solution that properly scales, properly enables you to start to get very fast insights and data points that helps your IT departments and your technologists drive that best user experience possible, because ultimately, that's what that really matters at the end of the day. If the end users are not happy, they're going to leave your solution and they're going to move on to something else.
Thank you. That was very well explained. So moving on to Cisco Live, you recently launched AppDynamics Cloud. So tell us more about this.
Yeah, so AppDynamics Cloud is a cloud native observability platform that's really geared towards those modernized applications. The applications that have been migrated, the ones running in that very dynamic space with many microservices, and then you have the containerization that runs below it. So you have, as you're running services, some may only run for a point in time, containers fire up, close down based on scale, handling the specific needs, but it was built with the intent that we can deliver cloud native observability in a very, very fast, simplified way. So by doing so, we're helping our customers accelerate their ability to detect issues, be able to understand where the performance issues, and really it's before it starts to impact the business. So it's about driving that intelligent operation so that you can focus on really what matters to the business when it comes to those complex applications. And additionally, as I was mentioning before, we see new roles that come into play. We see new cloud ops teams, infra teams. Site reliability engineering is a big function as well. Being able to manage, service level objectives and things along those lines that are tied to the business. So bringing in a tool that really focuses on that broad span, bringing together the different silos that focus on the cloud native technology, but focusing on a way that we can start to deliver a seamless way to ingest data that all those different personas can gain value and understanding of how the application is functioning across whatever specific domain that your responsibility is.
So what made AppDynamics develop this solution?
Quite honestly, this is something that our customers have been asking us for. So this is where they start seeing the different challenges, the different changes within their organization, both from a technology as well as a people and process, upskilling their staff, being able to change their processes to deliver in a very fast way. So what we're doing here is we're giving them the ability to have visibility into their public cloud environments. We're starting off with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure, and then we're going to be adding Google Cloud Platform in the future. But then also giving visibility into the Kubernetes workloads, the containerization or the infrastructure that's used to support it. And it's all within context of the application. So as you're drilling in to understand what's going wrong with your containers, you always maintain the context of the business and the application. But then also having microservice visibility as you're going from a single entity to a broken up into 15 different microservices. Organizations are going to be in a position where they have thousands of microservices that need to be able to have visibility to, but also be able to bring it down very quickly to understand what are the microservices in play for a specific application. And deriving this is at the core is leveraging technology that we have for AI and ML algorithms that enable us to quickly baseline, understand those dependency mappings, figure out anomaly detection so we can automate root cause, and then help our customers really future-proof their environments, because we are basing this on open source technology, using open telemetry as a core fundamental component, which is becoming the de facto standard when it comes to monitoring and observing cloud native applications.
How is this AppDynamics Cloud different from the rest of your competitors?
So what we're seeing in the industry from a competitive standpoint is that some of our competitors are starting to just bolt on cloud native capabilities into their existing solution. Now that poses a couple different challenges. One is as you move forward towards cloud native, your scale needs to continue to go up. So by building something that is a modernized architecture, something that's scalable, we feel is going to be more attractive to our customers and help them really in those more complex challenges. But if you kind of think about the approach, if you're starting to plug in cloud native capabilities into an existing platform, what happens is you're actually creating a separate set of tabs that you have to go through and be able to search, and you're really not getting the full picture. So by doing so, you're creating another layer of steps that you have to go through to be able to solve and be able to identify where problems are, if even possible. So with AppDynamics Cloud, we started at a clean state. We built this from the ground up. That's going to be focusing on some of the real core challenges, but it also has to be simple to use. So with simplicity, being able to quickly get up and running and configure it and get quick observability of your cloud platform is becoming very attractive to our customers. And also overall with Cisco, we have the full stack observability initiative. And AppDynamics is a core component of full stack observability with Cisco as we drive the business context to be able to bring that alignment together that shows how the technology is impacting the business. What is the impact to the revenue? What is the revenue at risk when there's an outage? Things along those nature. So when you kind of look at the other pieces of full stack observability, we build integrations with products like Thousand Eyes so that we can have visibility of the application performance, tying into the network, tying into the internet as the internet's becoming more and more dependent, or we're becoming more and more dependent on leveraging the internet. And then also integrating with Intersight, which enables us to start to build automation into our full stack observability mission. And with that, you're able to now start to take performance data from AppDynamics, feed it into Intersight, which now is enabling us to start to automate some of the workload optimization so that you're enabling scale better, you're managing costs better so that when the slowdown happens, you're reducing the amount of dependency on the cloud so that your costs are kept in check. In this way, when you kind of look at it overarching, we're looking at it from a very broad perspective. We had, AppDynamics Cloud come up focusing on specifically to those very complex cloud native solutions. But on the broader side of Cisco, we have an initiative or strategy with a series of products that we've integrated to be able to solve a lot of these bigger challenges that have dependencies on different infrastructure components as well as different networks as well as the public internet.
So moving forward, what new announcements can customers expect from AppDynamics?
So our real focus right now is to continue helping our customers start to adopt our new platform, start to understand where it fits in with their overall focus, and then help our customers transition to that mindset of full stack observability. With the again, referring to the recent report that we've had another one that was called the Journey to Observability. And this is about where folks are within their process to the steps of getting to full stack observability. 94% of the respondents from the UAE are excited about the potential of full stack observability. They see the value there. They believe that it can be transformational to their overall efforts. And even more importantly, 98% of the folks from the UAE are already in the process of starting their transition to full stack observability. So it's happening in the industry. And we're really keen to see the momentum that 2022 brings us and moving beyond with our customers.
So just one last thing, Greg. So as an executive CTO, what are your top priorities for the year?
My top priorities for the year are ensuring that our customers are very well educated on the different processes that need to be taking place for cloud native. And again, I'm very customer focused. I always believe that listening to your customers is obviously the most important thing that you can do because really you got to serve their challenges and serve their needs. So ensuring that I'm right in line with our customers, ensuring that I can help them as much as possible from an executive level, building out their strategies to change their internal process, to sometimes we have conversations about things they haven't even thought about, right? So it's a matter of really sharing and creating that dialogue to really help them solve their bigger needs. And at the end of the day, I think my role being able to focus on the next generation of where things are moving is a phenomenal place to be because watching the industry transform has been nothing but more than a fascinating event as someone who's been in the IT world for about 25 years.
Great. Thank you so much, Greg. Thank you for the great explanations and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.